Man is not disturbed by events, but by the views he takes of them. Epictetus. Welcome to our exploration of Stoic philosophy, a timeless guide to navigating life's challenges with grace and resilience. In this episode, we'll delve into 8 foundational Stoic principles, each offering valuable insights into achieving emotional resilience and tranquility. Stoicism, originating in ancient Greece and later refined by Roman thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, provides a robust framework for understanding the nature of control, accepting the inevitability of change, and cultivating inner strength amidst adversity. Throughout our journey, we'll uncover practical wisdom that empowers us to confront life's trials with courage and wisdom. By embracing these Stoic principles, we can transform our perceptions, responses, and ultimately, our lives. So, join me as we embark on this exploration of Stoic philosophy and discover how these timeless principles can guide us towards greater emotional freedom and resilience. Let's begin with our first principle, the dichotomy of control. Principle 1. The dichotomy of control. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the profound notion of the dichotomy of control, a principle that delineates between what is within our sphere of influence and what lies beyond it. This fundamental concept serves as a guiding light for navigating the complexities of life with wisdom and resilience. Stoicism teaches us that external events, circumstances, and the actions of others are ultimately beyond our control. Whether it's the weather, the behavior of others, or unforeseen obstacles that arise, these elements are subject to the whims of fate or the natural order of the universe. However, what we do have control over are our own thoughts, attitudes, and actions, the internal realm of our own minds. By recognizing and embracing this dichotomy, we liberate ourselves from the futile pursuit of trying to bend the world to our will. Instead, we focus our attention and efforts on those things that we can influence, the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the way we respond to life's unfolding events. This shift in perspective empowers us to cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience, regardless of the external circumstances. Practicing the dichotomy of control requires mindfulness and self-awareness. It involves observing our thoughts and reactions with impartiality, discerning between what is within our power to change and what is not. When faced with challenges or adversity, we refrain from wasting energy on futile attempts to alter the unchangeable and instead direct our efforts towards constructive action and personal growth. Embracing the dichotomy of control does not mean resignation or passivity. Rather, it is an invitation to engage with life fully, to accept the inherent unpredictability of existence, and to respond with courage and integrity. It is a call to focus our attention on what truly matters, to cultivate virtues such as resilience, wisdom, and inner peace, and to find freedom in the midst of life's uncertainties. As we integrate the principle of the dichotomy of control into our lives, we discover a profound sense of liberation. We learn to let go of the burden of trying to control the uncontrollable and instead embrace the beauty of the present moment. We become architects of our own destiny, charting a course towards greater fulfillment and flourishing, anchored by the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Principle 2. Virtue as the highest good. In the rich tapestry of Stoic philosophy, virtue stands as the cornerstone upon which a life of flourishing and fulfillment is built. Unlike external possessions, wealth, or fame, which are subject to the whims of fortune and fleeting in nature, virtue remains steadfast and immutable, the highest good that transcends the vicissitudes of life. At its core, virtue encompasses a constellation of qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, each contributing to the cultivation of a noble and virtuous character. To the Stoics, the pursuit of virtue is not merely a means to an end, but an end in itself, the ultimate aim of human existence. Central to the Stoic conception of virtue is the idea of living in accordance with nature, aligning our thoughts, actions, and intentions with the fundamental principles that govern the cosmos. This entails cultivating a deep sense of self-awareness and moral clarity, discerning the difference between right and wrong, and striving to act in harmony with the dictates of reason and conscience. In the pursuit of virtue, the Stoics emphasize the importance of ethical integrity and moral excellence. Virtue is not something that can be acquired through external possessions or fleeting pleasures, but is rather cultivated through deliberate practice and inner transformation. It requires the courage to confront our own limitations and shortcomings, the wisdom to discern the path of moral goodness, and the discipline to persevere in the face of adversity. For the Stoics, living a virtuous life is not contingent upon external circumstances, but is rather a matter of personal choice and commitment. Regardless of the trials and tribulations we may encounter, we always retain the power to choose how we respond, to act with integrity, compassion, and justice, regardless of the consequences. In embracing virtue as the highest good, we free ourselves from the tyranny of external desires and attachments, finding solace and fulfillment in the pursuit of moral excellence. As we cultivate the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we become architects of our own destiny, crafting a life of purpose, meaning, and integrity. Principle 3. The dichotomy of control. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies a fundamental principle known as the dichotomy of control, a powerful concept that serves as a guiding light in navigating the complexities of life. According to this principle, there are two categories of things in the world, those that are within our control and those that are outside our control. Within our control lie our thoughts, beliefs, values, choices, and actions, the internal faculties of the mind over which we have complete autonomy. These are the aspects of our lives that we can influence and shape through deliberate effort and intention, regardless of external circumstances. Conversely, outside our control lie external events, circumstances, and the actions of others, variables that are subject to the whims of fate and beyond our power to change. No amount of worry, anxiety, or effort can alter the course of these external forces, and therefore, it is futile to invest our time and energy in trying to control them. The Stoics advocate for a radical shift in perspective, encouraging us to focus our attention and effort solely on the things within our control while relinquishing attachment to the things beyond our control. By embracing this mindset, we free ourselves from the burden of anxiety and frustration, finding inner peace and serenity in the face of life's uncertainties. In practical terms, applying the dichotomy of control requires a discerning mind and a steadfast commitment to living in accordance with reason and virtue. It involves cultivating a sense of detachment from external outcomes and embracing a mindset of acceptance and equanimity, regardless of the circumstances we may encounter. Through the practice of the dichotomy of control, we learn to differentiate between what is truly essential and what is merely ephemeral, focusing our attention on the things that truly matter, our character, values, and inner state of being. In doing so, we reclaim our agency and autonomy, liberating ourselves from the shackles of external validation and approval. Ultimately, the dichotomy of control invites us to embrace a stance of radical acceptance and resilience, recognizing that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we always retain the power to choose how we respond. By embracing this principle, we cultivate a sense of inner freedom and empowerment, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and fortitude. Principle 4. The power of perception. Central to Stoic philosophy is the recognition that our perception of the world shapes our experience of it, a profound insight that lies at the core of personal transformation. According to the Stoics, it is not events themselves that cause us distress, but rather our judgments and interpretations of those events. In other words, it is not the external circumstances we encounter that determine our happiness or suffering, but rather the way we choose to perceive and interpret them. This principle, often encapsulated in the famous adage, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters," underscores the importance of cultivating a wise and discerning perspective on life. The Stoics advocate for a practice known as cognitive reframing, which involves consciously challenging and reshaping our habitual patterns of thinking and interpreting the world. By reframing our perceptions, we can transform adversity into opportunity, obstacles into stepping stones, and setbacks into lessons for growth. One powerful technique employed by the Stoics is the practice of negative visualization, which involves contemplating the worst-case scenarios in life and mentally preparing ourselves to face them with courage and equanimity. By confronting our fears and anxieties head-on, we rob them of their power over us, cultivating a sense of inner resilience and strength. Moreover, the Stoics emphasize the importance of adopting a perspective of cosmic indifference, a recognition of the inherent impermanence and transience of all things. By embracing the fleeting nature of life and accepting the inevitability of change, we free ourselves from the grip of attachment and desire, finding serenity in the midst of life's flux. Through the power of perception, we reclaim agency over our inner world, realizing that our thoughts and beliefs are not fixed but malleable, capable of being reshaped and refined through conscious effort and intention. By cultivating a mindset of clarity, objectivity, and wisdom, we can navigate the complexities of life with grace and resilience, finding peace and fulfillment amidst the ebb and flow of existence. Principle 5. The discipline of desire. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the principle of the discipline of desire, which entails cultivating a state of inner tranquility by aligning our desires with what is within our control. The Stoics assert that much of our suffering arises from our attachment to external outcomes and our relentless pursuit of fleeting pleasures and possessions. According to Stoic teachings, true freedom and contentment are found not in the pursuit of external goods, but in the mastery of our inner world and the cultivation of virtuous character traits. The disciplined pursuit of virtue, wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice is regarded as the highest good, providing a solid foundation for a life of meaning and fulfillment. Central to the discipline of desire is the practice of voluntary hardship, whereby individuals deliberately expose themselves to discomfort and adversity in order to strengthen their resolve and resilience. By embracing discomfort and voluntarily renouncing material comforts, we train ourselves to detach from external pleasures and develop an inner sense of fortitude and self-reliance. Moreover, the Stoics advocate for the practice of negative visualization as a means of tempering our desires and cultivating gratitude for the present moment. By contemplating the impermanence and uncertainty of life, we learn to appreciate the value of what we have and to approach life with a sense of humility and perspective. Another key aspect of the discipline of desire is the cultivation of equanimity, the ability to maintain a calm and balanced state of mind in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. Rather than being swayed by the tide of fortune, the Stoic sage remains steadfast and resolute, grounded in the knowledge that true happiness comes from within, independent of external circumstances. Through the practice of the discipline of desire, we learn to distinguish between what is truly important and what is merely transient, directing our energy and attention towards the pursuit of virtue and inner excellence. By mastering our desires and aligning them with the dictates of reason and virtue, we unlock the secret to lasting happiness and fulfillment, unshaken by the vicissitudes of fate. Principle 6. The acceptance of fate. Central to Stoic philosophy is the concept of accepting fate, recognizing that much of what happens in life is beyond our control and learning to embrace it with equanimity and resilience. Stoicism teaches that while we may influence certain aspects of our lives through our actions and choices, ultimately, the outcome is subject to the whims of fate and external circumstances. The Stoics advise us to cultivate an attitude of acceptance towards the events and circumstances that unfold in our lives, whether they be favorable or adverse. Rather than resisting or lamenting over things that are beyond our control, we are encouraged to acknowledge them with a sense of calm detachment, understanding that they are simply part of the natural order of things. Through the practice of acceptance, we free ourselves from the burden of unnecessary worry and anxiety, allowing us to focus our energy on the things that are within our control. By relinquishing our attachment to specific outcomes and embracing whatever fate may bring, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and tranquility that is impervious to external fluctuations. Moreover, the acceptance of fate enables us to confront life's challenges with courage and resilience, knowing that while we cannot always control the outcome, we can control our response to it. Rather than succumbing to despair or resignation in the face of adversity, we adopt a mindset of stoic endurance, persevering in the pursuit of virtue and inner strength. Furthermore, the Stoics emphasize the importance of viewing setbacks and hardships as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Rather than viewing them as obstacles to be avoided or overcome, we approach them as valuable lessons that contribute to our personal development and spiritual evolution. In essence, the acceptance of fate is not a passive resignation to the vicissitudes of life, but an active affirmation of our capacity to endure and thrive in the face of adversity. By embracing whatever fate may bring with courage and equanimity, we unlock the door to true freedom and inner peace, transcending the limitations of external circumstances and finding solace in the eternal wisdom of the Stoics. Principle 7. The discipline of desire. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the discipline of desire, a fundamental principle that teaches us to cultivate a mindset of moderation, contentment, and detachment in our pursuit of worldly pleasures and desires. The Stoics recognized that the relentless pursuit of material wealth, status, and sensory gratification often leads to discontentment, anxiety, and spiritual impoverishment. Therefore, they advocated for a more balanced and restrained approach to the fulfillment of our desires, rooted in reason and self-control. The discipline of desire entails learning to distinguish between what is within our control and what lies beyond it. While we may aspire to achieve certain goals and acquire worldly possessions, we must recognize that external circumstances are often subject to change and uncertainty. Instead of placing undue emphasis on the attainment of external goods, the Stoics encourage us to focus our attention on cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, and temperance, which are within our control and lead to lasting fulfillment and inner peace. Moreover, the discipline of desire involves learning to manage our expectations and desires in a way that aligns with our values and priorities. Rather than being driven by insatiable cravings and desires for wealth, fame, or pleasure, we strive to cultivate a deeper sense of contentment and gratitude for what we already have. By practicing gratitude and mindfulness, we develop a greater appreciation for the simple pleasures of life and find fulfillment in the present moment, rather than constantly chasing after elusive desires and fantasies. Furthermore, the discipline of desire requires us to exercise self-control and restraint in the face of temptation and adversity. Rather than yielding to momentary impulses and cravings, we pause and reflect on the long-term consequences of our actions, striving to make decisions that are in alignment with our values and principles. Through the practice of self-discipline, we strengthen our resolve and fortify our inner strength, enabling us to resist the allure of instant gratification and pursue a more meaningful and purposeful life. In essence, the discipline of desire is a transformative practice that empowers us to transcend the fleeting pleasures and desires of the material world and cultivate a deeper sense of contentment, fulfillment, and inner peace. By mastering our desires and aligning them with our values and principles, we unlock the key to true happiness and personal freedom, living a life that is guided by reason, virtue, and wisdom. Principle 8. The acceptance of fate. Central to Stoic philosophy is the principle of accepting fate, a profound concept that teaches us to embrace the inevitability of change, uncertainty, and adversity in life with equanimity and resilience. The Stoics recognized that human existence is inherently fragile and subject to the whims of fate, including sickness, loss, and death. Instead of resisting or lamenting the inevitable challenges and setbacks that life presents us, they advocated for a mindset of acceptance and surrender to the natural order of the universe. The acceptance of fate involves cultivating a deep sense of trust in the wisdom of the cosmos and surrendering our attachment to the illusion of control. While we may exert effort and strive to shape our destiny to some extent, the Stoics remind us that ultimately, we are mere participants in the grand tapestry of existence, subject to forces beyond our comprehension and control. Rather than resisting or resenting the twists and turns of fate, we learn to surrender to its flow, recognizing that every experience, whether pleasant or painful, is an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Moreover, the acceptance of fate entails embracing the impermanence of life and the transitory nature of all things. The Stoics teach us to adopt a perspective of detachment and indifference towards the ephemeral pleasures and possessions of the material world, recognizing that they are fleeting and ultimately inconsequential in the grand scheme of existence. By cultivating a sense of detachment from external outcomes and circumstances, we free ourselves from the grip of fear, anxiety, and suffering, finding solace and serenity in the immutable truths of the cosmos. Furthermore, the acceptance of fate empowers us to confront life's challenges and adversities with courage and resilience. Rather than succumbing to despair or resignation in the face of hardship, we embrace the Stoic virtues of fortitude, perseverance, and inner strength, recognizing that adversity is an inevitable part of the human condition. Through the practice of acceptance, we develop the capacity to endure life's trials with grace and dignity, emerging stronger and wiser from each ordeal. In essence, the acceptance of fate is a transformative practice that liberates us from the tyranny of attachment and resistance, enabling us to find peace and equanimity amidst the ever-changing currents of life. By surrendering to the natural order of the universe and embracing the inevitability of change and uncertainty, we discover a profound sense of freedom and liberation from the shackles of ego and desire. In the acceptance of fate, we find the key to true happiness and fulfillment, living in harmony with the rhythm of the cosmos and embracing each moment with gratitude and humility. As we come to the end of this episode, let us reflect on the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and the profound insights it offers for navigating the challenges of modern life. Through the 8 Stoic principles we've explored, we've learned valuable lessons on how to cultivate inner strength, resilience, and peace of mind in the face of adversity. Remember, by embracing the discipline of perception, action, and will, by cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, and justice, and by living in accordance with our highest ideals and values, we can overcome any obstacle and thrive in the midst of uncertainty. As we continue on our journey of personal growth and transformation, may we carry the teachings of Stoicism with us, drawing inspiration from its timeless wisdom and applying its principles to our daily lives. In doing so, may we discover a newfound sense of purpose, meaning, and fulfillment, and become the masters of our own destiny. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Stoic philosophy. Until next time, remember, with the right mindset and the right principles, nothing can hurt you.